As promised last video, I did post pictures on Instagram about the party I went to a few weeks ago. Me and my ninja. We went to a charity event with like 12 other people. Then after we all went to a party with the committee who set it up, right? And you guys say I look Dominican now. First I'm a white guy, okay? Then I'm told like I'm black. Like I'm like crispy black. I don't know, like now I'm Latino, bugging. But I'm Asian. But anyway, speaking of Dominicans, at the party, I was talking to this guy who I traveled with about his family, right? His son is disabled, something to do with his spine being messed up at birth. So when we were talking about it, I felt so bad listening to how difficult it is for this man to take care of his son. His son is like 19 now. He has to be taken care of all the time. You know what I'm saying? He can't really be left home alone. You know what I'm saying? He can't do anything alone, really. So apparently his son, he also has like an intellectual disability. So, listening to this, I'm like depressed at this point. Like it's sad hearing this. So, man, you ever had like this sort of like deep conversation with somebody and somebody just goes like some dude who I've never met before. He was at the party with us. So he butts into our conversation. I'm like, hey, bro, this ain't your conversation. I'm having an intimate and compassionate conversation with the homie who is sharing his journey raising his son. And this dude who I don't know just pops in. He's like, man, I've heard, that's hard to hear. I know how you feel. My family, we from Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. And I have a grandson who got some stuff going on. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, I didn't say this. I'm thinking like, bro, who asked? You know what I'm saying? Why make it about you? I don't care about what's going on with y'all. Like, why, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying? But we were like, right? We responded to him. We were like, oh yeah, what's up? What's up? Yeah, what's your name, by the way? And he introduces himself. And, I introduce myself. My friend introduces. We shake hands, and he offers me and my friend a cigar. I don't smoke, but my friend does. So they both light up, and I'm just standing here like a bozo, right? I have a Modelo in my hand, and the guy continues, and he says, yeah, my grandson, my daughter is having a hard time raising him. He's 7 right now. This summer, actually, they're going to Texas to give him stem cell research for his autism. I'm like, boom, shrag it. What? Stem cell therapy or treatment for autism? And he's like, yeah, he has, oh my God, what is it called? I know, like, autism is a spectrum, obviously. It's not that black and white, but he said, something. He said his son has level 3 autism. If you don't know what that is, I'm not really sure about the subject to that, because I've never heard anyone really use that term. I put an info chart on the screen right now if I'm not lazy to edit this video. Hopefully it's not too small, okay? So whatever picture's on the screen right now, basically level 3 autism, to summarize, is what people call, not in a satirical way, severe autism, where these individuals, they need a lot of help, like substantial amount of support. As far as my research concerns me about this, my ex, her brother had something going on with autism as well. I made videos talking about this subject before, but with level 3 autism, someone with this tends to have like very severe deficiencies in communication. Like their behaviors are very, I don't know how to describe it. Like their behaviors interfere with their daily life. Like they tend to have compulsive behaviors, like obsessive behaviors. Just they can't function. You know what I'm saying? They're very sensitive to sensory things, like very, very, very sensitive to noise or touch or light. And not everyone experiences the same thing, obviously. But in these cases, this individual, regardless, right, whatever they have with this level of autism, right, they need 24/7 supervision and assistance, pretty much. So he's basically saying his grandson is going to Texas with his daughter to get stem cell therapy to resolve this. And this is what conflicted me about this, because he mentioned that the intentions is to, quote, cure his autism. Let me start with this. I have never heard any credible evidence, nor can I find any online, of stem cell therapy, quote, curing autism. The problem already goes with saying autism is something that can be cured. At this point in time, we sort of understand the spectrum of autism and the diversity associated with it. To say it can be cured despite what we scientifically understand about it, it just rubs off weird to me. You know what I'm saying? Stem cell therapy is not very fun, by the way. It's very invasive. It could be very expensive too. The purpose of stem cell therapy is to repair damaged tissues, organs, or other functions in the body. So in theory, this type of practice, stem cell therapy, it's regenerative medicine, which people tend to go to stem cell therapy for treating conditions. I mean, like usually these conditions are like spinal cord injuries or like forms of leukemia or Parkinson's disease, but autism? I hope somebody didn't like someone from like some clinic or something didn't reach out to them knowing that they're desperate for help or something. Because like, you know, I've read that stem cell therapy can reduce how was I say Blaine from like Pokemon, weird. I don't know why I'm thinking about Pokemon lately. Anyway, so I've heard that it could like reduce brain inflammation or manage the immune system, stem cell therapy, right? But there's no real evidence that it will remove autistic traits from somebody, you know? Like, so remember I said just a moment ago, stem cell therapy can be invasive, right? Well, this 7-year-old kid is basically gonna have like, I don't know, probably spinal injections, infusions, cell harvesting, and re-injections of this and that. And some of y'all are probably thinking, well, cool. This kid probably has no other choice at this point. Well, I maybe you're right. At least they're trying something, but consider this. Consider this point though. What I mentioned about autism and what you know about autism, very oftentimes, especially with someone with quote severe autism or level 3 autism, they are nonverbal and very sensitive to things. Rather, they don't know what's going on most of the time. So now think about a 7-year-old with those conditions. They may not know what is going on. And meanwhile, they're going through this therapy, which we don't know the long-term effects. There's a lot of medical risk going on here, like neurological side effects. A 7-year-old level 3 autistic child going through this therapy, I think it will be very traumatizing. This is a child's brain that is still developing. So I played devil's advocate to myself, right? And I said, cool, what about there's no other choice here, right? Well, you know, if I was in this situation, right? Like, and I had a child that was going through this, I feel like I wouldn't put somebody through treatment that doesn't have benefits that I know are a guarantee. And it's expensive. We're not thinking about the other stuff here. I haven't even mentioned it. What about post-procedure care? What about after the procedure? Let's say this 7-year-old kid gets the stem cell therapy, right? And we're like, okay, we're just gonna wait. It's hopefully gonna work. Okay, well, who's gonna pay for the speech therapy? The kid's gonna need speech therapy, right? The occupational therapy. What's the plan here? All this stuff that's gonna be needed after this. Y'all are like flying to Texas. I live in New York. Y'all are flying to Texas? What? See, now you guys gonna relocate to Texas? Who's paying for these flights? Who's paying for the living? This is gonna be like $20,000 to at least $50,000 in expenses, maybe like per round or something. I don't feel like this is a solution. You don't even know if this is guaranteed. Like, I'm not. Listen, I won't spend money like that. I can love this child. I could do. I just can't. I just don't know. If it was a guarantee, maybe a different story. Probably a different story. I'd probably maybe spend the money. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, anyway, so, you know, like I mentioned, this guy pulls up and he's telling us about this. And I'm just confused at this point. I already got the homie over here talking about how his son is stuck in a wheelchair all his life and he's miserable. Now, this guy comes out of nowhere talking about curing his grandson's autism in Texas. It made me also think, like, I'm so grateful that I can walk, breathe, speak, think, and even laugh with people I care about. I'm out here like 7 hours away from home doing this with these two, hanging out, drinking beers. They're smoking cigars. And I played some basketball earlier today. We're all at a luxury hotel. It's like meanwhile, while I'm doing all this stuff that I'm enjoying, meanwhile, someone else is out there fighting for these type of experiences. Someone else is raising a kid who can't talk, can't walk, maybe doesn't even understand the world around them. Maybe will never. Sad, right? Like I don't have everything I want in my life personally, but man, I am completely okay with how things aren't perfect. We're out here doing charity, and I already understand that when I stop and look at around at those who are less fortunate, I'm sure some people would love to trade places with me and many others in a heartbeat. But I just think about how, you know, in my past, like one of the biggest mistakes I made, I wish one thing, you say no regrets in life, right? People always say like, there's nothing I regret in life because everything's pleasant, you know, but you know, I gotta be real. Like one thing I do regret in my life is attaching to things that I've never had in my life. Like that, it wasn't even a necessity, you know, like yet these things that I would attach to in my life, that was a necessity. If I were to if I was able to obtain them, like I just realized like, wow, this thing either hurt me or it was a waste of time, wasn't worth it, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Yet others aren't even going to get a chance to even be near whatever they're attaching to, obtaining in their own personal life. I don't know if that makes sense to what I'm saying right now. You know what? You know, when I hear someone talking about like this guy talking about curing autism, or they're searching for a fix out there, like a miracle, you know, yeah, I'm going to be skeptical. I'm not too sure about it. But it also reminds me how desperate we can all be when life deals us an unfair hand, you know? Like, I know we can try to be... We have this positive culture going on right now, especially with autism, you know? But, like, people say it's a gift or whatever. I don't want to get into that political stuff, you know? I feel like that's political to me, but it's just... You know what I'm saying? Because we try to... You know, we try to put a positive mental attitude towards everything, but let's just call this what it is, this specific thing, okay? This 7-year-old child who has, quote, level 3 autism needs 24/7 support and cannot function due to whatever reason that may be, okay? What did this child do to deserve this? Nothing. They were dealt with an unfair hand. And being a parent to that, it just shows what people will do when they're desperate to make things better. Like stem cell therapy, which, you know, I'm going to end up repeating myself, but it's really sad. It's a reminder to be grateful. You know, I've never met the kid. I don't know the exact details. I never met this guy. You know, he just popped out of nowhere. Some Dominican guy, okay? I didn't pry on the subject. I didn't say, like, what's wrong with your kid? Like, what exactly is going on, the complication in terms of his, quote, level 3 autism? All I know is this. Sometimes we need to just support, understand, and make someone feel as loved as possible, despite what their life is like. Does that include trying to fix or cure whatever they're going through in their life? I guess that's up for debate. We don't always get to choose the cards that we're dealt, but we do have a choice with how we play them. Some people out here, they're doing the best they can. And I guess everything happens for a reason, because meeting this person, despite him barging into our conversation, it did open my eyes a little bit more. And hopefully this story, or my experience here, is some food for thought for you guys as well. Anyway, this episode is found on Spotify and YouTube. I love you guys. I'm out.